bottom, it's normally the story that comes with that. Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry, sometimes you just remember some good shit. Welcome to the Bottom of the Bottom podcast.
Time it is, man. We in the place. This is BOTB, man. This is the BOTB show. I'm Jay Walker the third. That's my brother, my co-host, my partner. Then what's happening?
Hey, shit, what's going on?
Man, it's been a rough day, man. I'm trying to get myself together. We apologize for the late. That's all on me. Yeah, life be life. That's gonna go on a t-shirt. What's good with you?
Hey, shit, trying to sober up.
Yeah.
Tonio stopped through. We had some drinks and some shots and some drinks.
Yeah, well, it be like that sometimes. So why don't you introduce our guest this evening, man? We got another special show. It's gonna be super dope, educational, and some other shit.
Yeah, we got Miss Shondee Galloway from Litt Lizzy Farms. It's a hemp farm. That's pretty dope, because that's a lot of people's forte, So we got a guest in that field to educate some people.
All right, so let's go ahead and it is one of those days. Welcome. How are you?
What's going on, good people? How are y'all?
Oh man, look, trying to make it, hustle and survive, good times, like the theme song.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So just off base. A lot of people associate him for weed, but they really shouldn't. You want to tell them why?
Oh, okay. So the most common question, anytime we're out vending or educating people about our business, is you out here selling weed? And it's a common question. It's a great question, and there's no shame in it. Part of my job is to help people understand.
Indeed.
The most basic way I know how, and this might be the Columbia, South Carolina in me, is metaphor. So here we go. So you have your cannabis plant, right? Your cannabis plant. Cannabis is a word we're all familiar with. Cannabis plant has two daughters. She has a daughter named CBD, and she has a daughter named THC. Same mother, two different daughters, right? Different personalities, like anybody we know out here. THC, we're gonna call her weed. She's for the streets. She's a hot girl, right? She messes with your mind, right?
Okay.
In some states, if you get caught out in the streets with her, you got a problem. She's not legal everywhere, right? But we got CBD on the other hand. She's the calmer little sister. She's not hot like her big sister THC. In fact, she wants to be a medical doctor. She's all about relieving pain in your body. She don't want to mess with your head. And she's legal everywhere that you go. So cannabis, even though they look alike, she has two daughters that look alike, but they are different in personalities and what they can offer the human body. Might smell the same, might look the same, but the effects are truly in the DNA, because no two women that are not twins have the same DNA, right?
Right.
So that's same mother, two different daughters.
That's so dope, man. Look, when I asked you to break it down, I knew you would be prepared, but that was a great take.
I've been saying that for about 3 years now. It helps me get through to my people a lot quicker than trying to be scientific about anything. So my mother has two daughters, and I'm the youngest, so we can we can relate in this household.
Well, I fuck with that motherfucker that be in trouble.
Right. It's nothing wrong with her. You just gotta respect her for who she is. That's all.
Yeah, now you gotta let her go sometimes. Sometimes, like you said, she's for the streets. Who am I to get jealous?
Right. Be
Okay,
prepared to share.
that's it. So we're gonna go into what we do is first call, man. This is a small little trivia section. I got 5 questions. My brother got 5 questions. Ain't no right or wrong answers. You ain't really winning nothing. This ain't Jeopardy. It's just how you feel in the moment. You
Okay.
feel me?
I feel you.
Okay. So, big breakfast, big dinner.
Big breakfast.
I'm with you on that. Um, cool and low key, or let's get litty.
Ooh, truly depends on the occasion, but 99% of the time, cool and low key.
Okay. Okay. Um, favorite pair of shoes all time.
Uh, Converse, Chuck Taylor, All Stars.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay. I can dig it. I can
yeah.
dig it. That's,
I was an
excuse
OG.
me.
I was an OG in another life.
That's what I'm saying. You out here with no ankle support. Um, we'll do the superpower question. We ain't done it in a minute, man.
Oh
So
man.
you know how this thing work. You got Marvel, you got DC, you got Black Lightning, you got all these superheroes, man. If you could invoke a superhero and take their power for your purposes, who would it be?
Oh wow. Um, Probably Wonder Woman.
Mm,
At
Yeah,
first.
that's the
yeah,
first.
yeah. Just to
Okay.
be, just to be a destructive white woman and be forgiven about it. I think
Man,
that's the.
not
Is
damn,
that the
that's the angle.
superpower we were talking about? Is
God
that the
dog.
superpower? That's not a superpower to y'all.
That I mean, it is for them.
That's just me.
It is for
You
them.
wanted me to pick something normal like Black Lightning and the yeah. Okay. I think being
Nah,
able
that's
to
dope.
just you know just fuck shit up in the name of honor and be forgiven. I think that's a great thing that
Cry
most
those
of us can't
tears.
experience. So yeah, let's do that.
Cry those tears, those powerful
Right.
tears.
Yes.
Oh man, that's funny. um,
I'm
damn,
gonna get
because
in trouble for this, I'm sure.
I had my question on the tip of my tongue. We down here, man, and we be driving early down in the south. Do you have a car? Do you whip? Have you been driving for a while?
Since 14, yes.
Okay.
15.
What car did you own or have access to that got you in the most trouble?
My mother's white Oldsmobile 88.
Damn, because everybody had a Delta 88.
Uh, and Monticello Road, the
Yeah,
combination of the two.
That'll
definitely.
do it.
Yeah. Cause
That'll
plenty of
do
gray
it.
hair. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. We see why you on your path for hemp.
But that's my 5.
All right. I ain't said in a while. Hardest word for you to pronounce.
um, Worcestershire
Oh,
sauce.
definitely. That's
Yeah.
probably one of
I don't
them.
trust anybody that can pronounce it, honestly. So.
Yeah. All right. Last time you fell.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
When the last time you fell?
Last time I fell,
Yep.
I work on a farm uh, probably 4 months ago.
Shit, that's doing good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
that's
4 months
doing.
ago.
Um, what comedian would you like to see host Price is Right?
Mm.
Wow. What comedian would I like to see on Price is Right? Um, maybe Mike Epps.
Come on, give me somebody else.
I was thinking about
Dead
that.
or alive. I'm sorry. I would have said Bernie Mac first, but that's
That now that'd be. I don't know. They had to put that on HBO. The old
right.
HBO.
Exactly.
They had to
And
put
there
that
would
on
be
old.
a lot of question of people's characters and judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you. Well, I ain't gonna say. Like
Break it
I
up.
can't. I didn't hear the question.
I said I see you like sports.
Mm-hmm.
Your favorite? Give me a starting five. Give me your favorite NBA starting five, no matter what team.
I can build a starting five.
Build a starting five.
Oh, why must we do this? Not based on talent, nor or championships. Just five of my favorite players.
It's your for you to build team, you gotta be your favorite. Whatever team you feel like you go on the court and win with.
This is the team, and if I had any kind of control over it, Michael Jordan, Penny Hardaway, and Kobe Bryant, Akeem Olajuwon, and probably Kevin Garnett.
Boy, that's an angry, intensified team right there.
I don't know if you got no balls though.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Penny, I think Penny could work with either Kobe or Mike. I don't think Mike and Kobe could work together.
Right. Yeah. That's why it's a fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's never cheap.
All right. First to 10. Aaliyah Boston or Asia Wilson? 1-on-1.
Asia Wilson?
I would have said Boston. All right. My last one. What's a good one?
Yeah, Asia Wilson.
What? Blunts or white paper?
Oh wow. By myself, white paper.
That first call. That was easy.
Yeah, that was. Nah, I'm definitely with you. I smoked blunts for a long time, like everybody else, but I found me some papers that I could manipulate, and it'll do what I needed to do, and it don't cause a dust cloud everywhere.
Right.
Like people talk about, the quality of reefer they buy and they want to taste it. Then you put it in a grape whiteout. That don't make sense.
It's an unfortunate situation. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I probably offended a bunch of people just now, but I'm just saying that's my perspective when you say that.
They're still gonna smoke though. Because people that smoke White Owls are gonna smoke White Owls. So.
I was one of them people for a long time. I was, don't fret. But as I got older, I realized, man, like the paper is lighter, and you'll taste your weed.
Right. And I don't know what they call them anywhere else, but I don't need a backwood to smoke a hog's leg with of any kind of THC or CBD. It seems like a lot to me, but I understand it's a sport these days.
It is.
I don't know why you have to like something that large. I don't know.
Nah, my shit is the smokehouse shit. You see the little tents with the leaf blower.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to think of a reason why I would need to be that high that fast.
Right.
So what was your first experience getting high? What was that like?
Like many people, my first experience, I actually did not get high. You don't know what you're doing, so you gotta take your time. Most of us don't know what we're doing. I didn't start smoking until I tore my Achilles tendon.
That's a good reason to smoke.
Yeah, I had a lot of time alone to sit down, which is that injury, I believe, is kind of like a spiritual experience because it really it makes you sit down and be still. You really can't do anything. Right. And I was a student at that time. So when I wasn't going to class, I was in my off-campus apartment, 300 miles away from my family. And that was the first time I truly smoked. And I might have been a white owl now that I think about it.
So somebody gave you that. You went to the store and bought that, or somebody gave you that white owl?
No, I wasn't going anywhere, so it was all brought to me. But it might have actually been like a spearmint.
Yeah. So how you tore your Achilles?
Playing basketball. I was a pickup game. I was preparing myself physically to go into the Air Force. I mean, that was not God's plan, and that is the most painful thing I've ever experienced. But
They
it
just
led
did
down the road, you know. What's that?
the dude Lou Young on social media. He just chronicled his. He just tore his, and he
Right.
did a
Yeah.
video of the day of his operation.
Right.
Yeah, I knew somebody that it happened to, and oh man, I can only
It'll
imagine.
change you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So there are a lot of GOAT conversations out there, and I respect them all. And I have had my own MJ versus Kobe conversations. But I personally thought that Kobe, if he ain't the GOAT, he's the kid about to be the GOAT when he tore his Achilles and walked to the free throw line.
and shot them free throws.
That man was different because I called for my mama at my big age after tearing my Achilles. So yeah, nah, I'm
Iman
tripping.
Shumpert, I forget whose podcast it was on. He told that exact story. He was like, um, hey, they was just talking about the difference between the generations about load management and these
Mhm.
dudes sitting out so that they can go to the playoffs and all that other shit.
Right.
And Kevin Garnett played 82 games, 12 out of his 15, 16 years. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jordan did 11 out of his 13. Kobe did 11 or 12 out of, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was just saying, like, now these dudes would take a day off just because, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But he said he just remembered looking at Kobe like, man, all Kobe wanted y'all to understand was he wasn't no bitch. Like, he
Right.
loved this game. He was going to give everything to this game. And I was a Kobe hater because I'm a little older. I'm more along MJ's timeline. And I always used to be like, man, fuck Cole. He just want to be Mike. And what it took a random conversation with somebody with he was like, bruh, we love Michael Jordan, right? Michael Jordan's the dope. He's probably the greatest of all time, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, now, how hard is it to copy him?
Right. Yeah.
Fuck. Everybody in the world tried
Nah,
to
hell
copy this
no.
man.
Jordan,
Everybody tried to
hell no.
copy him.
Jordan,
The only
Yeah,
person
listen,
that has
no,
an
Jordan
official copy is Kobe.
they were throwing that
No.
one almost that like Mike around for Harold Miner at one point. Like
Yeah,
that
that
didn't
didn't
work
It
last
out.
long.
was.
That
That
didn't
ain't
work
last
out.
long.
But Mike ain't never caught a two-piece. Mike ain't never caught a two-piece from Chris Childs. Mike ain't never
Oh
had
no, he
like,
got his ass kicked by the Pistons though.
he got his ass kicked by the Pistons, but that's different. That's why we don't give LeBron credit because Mike got his ass beat by the Pistons.
It's just a different time, man. They play the game a different way. They sped the game up. They wanted more points. They wanted less defense. If you
And now it's
sit back
horrible.
and you're objective enough, then you can see why they did what they did. It's never going to make sense to you because we saw games that was 84 to 81, and we saw fights, and we saw people
Defense.
get thrown in the first row. So it was just as entertaining to us.
No, I like the defense too. You got to get both sides of the ball,
Right.
an advantage.
Fair opportunity.
Yeah, fair opportunity. I said advantage, but yeah, fair opportunity. I just feel like because there's somebody like just like you said, Iman Shumpert that can play defense.
Right.
You got
Right.
you got people out there like even old new PJ Tucker. PJ Tucker like we talk shit about who we talk about old Natty like Paul Pierce, bad body Paul Pierce. PJ Tucker, he got the bad body walk or the bad body trot. But
Yeah, everybody.
there's people out there that play defense. It's hard for them to get on the court because they want to play defense. That's what I'm saying. Like you gotta give everybody a fair shot. That's all I'm saying. So real quick, because I got another question for you, but Lizzy Farms, real quick. Who your all favorite from the Lady Gamecocks?
My all-time favorite from the Lady Gamecocks.
Yeah, other than Asia Wilson and Leah Boston.
I can't say the coach. Okay.
You definitely can say the coast, but that's just downright.
I'm rocking with Zaya Cook.
Oh, okay.
I like the swag. I like the hustle. So yeah, I'm proud of them all. I'm gonna rock with all of them. But yeah, Zaya, she was out there to win. Nobody can deny that. Yeah.
But what I really want to ask you, so when you tore your Achilles, what made you or what had you? Because I know you had other pills and stuff, but what had you move over to the flower?
Well, actually, I think I was saying that I didn't want to be on other medication.
There you go. That's your
And
mama,
and
your
insurance
daddy.
wasn't that good. I wasn't getting the best rehab, but yes, yeah, I'm not one to be dependent on pharmaceuticals.
Well, but that's how you was growing up, right? Because our mom was like that. Shoot, man, our mom was not giving us no pills. She was not giving us like
Yeah,
tough it
we could
out.
go lay down. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You
go lay down.
yeah, you better go
Some
take this
ginger ale.
alcohol. Yeah, ginger ale, some alka seltzer.
Where's
Alka
this
seltzer.
cussing? Go lay
But I,
down. I'll get you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich a little bit
Yeah,
later
if you just
on.
sit down somewhere.
yeah, but but when you moved over, like what was that like? What was that moment like when you started?
Well, with me, my personal choices were I'm not a fan of alcohol, where I'm gonna consume um, great amounts to deal with the pain. That seemed dangerous for me because of alcoholism in my family. I'm able to enjoy drinks as I am with y'all, but when we talk about pain management, that would have been something dangerous, I
Right.
believe, for myself. Um, so, you know, on a college campus, it's not hard to find, but I was never willing to take, any harder drug or anything experimental or mind altering, outside of THC. And for a while, did not discuss it with my family, but I'm sure that they knew, how I was managing what was going on with me. So I
With
stepped into it, knowing the other options weren't my speed.
understanding, your background and your family dynamic, and you making that choice with alcohol,
Hmm.
what was their relationship on your upbringing around reefers?
The Reefers it had a mixed reviews to the people that mattered the most to me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because my parents were born in the 50s, the mid
Okay.
50s. So they were in high school and college in the 70s.
Right.
So they know enough to warn me and to not encourage it. But I think they were at the same time relieved that I wasn't out here rolling on the hard stuff. At the same time, that was so much available to us in the early 2000s. Now that I think about it, especially with the
Ecstasy,
rap music that I look
crack.
at, that I listen
Yeah.
to. Um, so at first, a little bit of parental guidance. They had to show that they were displeased. But fast forward to 2008, when this farm bill, comes about, and later in 2015, when we start talking about as a family, getting into the cannabis industry, the more um, the more open you are to investing in things, and that's where we are now. We've come a long way as a family when it comes to our attitude about cannabis.
So how
Okay.
did so let us know how Lit Lizzy Farms started. I always want to say I always want to say Liddy Lizzy. Uh and did y'all already have the land? Because the land is generational wealth. Y'all had the
Hmm.
land back then, and back then, black folk,
Hmm.
we're just now learning how valuable it is. Now that's the thing. Like black folk, everybody want to buy land, but y'all had the
Right.
land. So talk about the land and then the transition to doing what y'all doing now.
Well, I'll try to make the history brief and not bore any of your audience. But I find it amazing that in the late 1800s, my great grandmother and great grandfather were not only able to purchase 100 acres in
Shit.
rural South
Damn,
Carolina,
Rick
but
Ross.
manage it. Yeah, that is an amazing feat because right now it's a task to get 10 acres.
Yeah.
So this couple was able to make this purchase and manage it, and I believe their goal was to leave it for their children.
Right.
But my great grandmother managed that farmland. Not all 100 acres were used, of course, but she managed the land. My great grandfather made it the homestead. Fast forward, things happen. People, we have our ancestors now. Between the children's, there was a plot for 11 acres that my mother has inherited. We decided as a family in 2018, 2019 to take one of those 11 acres that my mother inherited and plant more than 900 hemp plants on that 1 acre. In the end, we ended up harvesting 220 pounds of hemp, which I'm sure would have been more the circumstances, but we did very good for our first year,
Right.
I believe. Our attitude was in 2018 or so, we have this land, like many of us do have, that is inherited. We're paying property taxes by selling timber, growing trees, cutting the trees, selling timber. Why can't we do more with this land? And honestly, we've tapped into 401ks, biweekly paychecks, angel donations, grassroots campaigning. We'll accept gifts at this point because farming is an expensive business. So I'm even more in awe of my great grandmother and great grandfather and what they were able to do in 1890
And
up
that's
until
my thing.
1970 or so. So yeah, that's a lot.
I was just gonna say for them to not be bullied off of that land, to not be bigoted off of that land.
There
You
were
know what I'm saying?
attempts. Yeah.
There had to be because who
Yeah.
wants this? We know there's a large large percentage of our population that don't want to see that.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's the Tulsas, it's the Rosewoods, it's the countless other
It's the
prominent black
Lakelands in
cities.
Atlanta. Yeah, even if it isn't a farm, it's Central Park. You
Right.
know, they're not making any more land. I mean, I live in Charlotte. That is where my home is, and they are steadily building apartments. But
Right.
nobody's making more land, and that's truly where value is. We have to recognize that value first.
Let people know, and it's important that the importance of paying your property tax. Go ahead, take that sip, boy. That was that. Oh, this shit serious sip.
No, I don't have much to say here. I'm not fucking with Uncle Sam. So
There you go.
I suggest you pay your property taxes. Find a way. In this great day and age, if you Google or you hit that Instagram or that Book of Faces, there are plenty of other people that look like me, or more than a handful of people that look like me that have opened up RV parks, campgrounds. Even if it's not a hemp farm, sell watermelons. I hear they're highly popular in New York. Do what you can with your land because it is one asset that no one else has control over. So pay those taxes. It's well worth it if you put your mind to it. And you in the end, if you don't, it'll be sold to someone for pennies on the dollar and you'll regret that.
All right, so somebody said I may sound dumb, but can you use part as a place to allow people to rent it out for many concerts and parties?
It's your land. Shit. It's whatever you can deal with.
You do have to. So, for example, we just had a 420 fundraiser. We've had a few events at our farm, but we've kept them private because of the industry that I'm involved in, and you can't open grounds to just any and everybody.
Can we be invited?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a calendar of events that I'm about to open to y'all, but our biggest event is in October, and we have a bonfire. It's called Bonfire and Barbecue. We invite people out to just celebrate with us, take a tour of the farm, things of that nature. But with any land, not just farmland, yes. One of our goals is to build up our agritourism part, where basically people come and tour the farm or host a wine tasting, bridal parties, just any kind of event. We hope to host a women's empowerment summit later this year. With your land, you do have to be aware and considerate of your neighbors if you have any.
Right.
And in my industry, we do respect all local and state laws. That's all I can say. But yeah, if you can believe it, yeah, you can achieve it.
What makes it a farm though? Like what constituted it as a farm? Because some people don't know. They think a farm is old McDonald had a farm. We got animals. Like what constitutes something as a farm?
Using the land to produce some kind of good, for lack of better words. That's the first time I've ever been asked that in my life. But we don't have any animals, but we are using the land to naturally grow things. And we can say that our hemp is organic because we don't use any kind of pesticides. Our soil is tested to make sure that there are no harsh metals or chemicals or anything like that.
Yeah.
So the decision to grow or use the land to produce something, I think that's what makes it a farm. Because I'm not dealing with chickens or anything else. That's not built for that.
Have you decided whether or not you would do any other flower-based vegetables, anything else that that y'all would want to produce on the land? Or
Yes,
how much? Like you said, y'all got 11 acres and y'all took one.
mm-hmm.
Like, are y'all in talks about going from 1 to 3, or 1 to 1.5, or how big you want to make it?
Yes. Last year was our first full year of hemp farming, our full season. We intended to start in 2019. We were revved up and ready to apply for 2020, and then there was COVID, which ended up being a blessing in disguise. But with our first full year, at the end of our hemp growing season, we actually focused on growing mustard greens. And we hope to do several different projects and make donations to community through that. But we have a list of produce that we're developing our farm to support, including muscadine, because we will do a CBD infused wine in the near future. Collard greens, sage, hot peppers, tomatoes, and maybe cucumber. We are always interested in growing. We've set up investment opportunities for ourselves to grow, as well as to offer private grows to investors, indoor cultivation, and expanding as much as we can on those 11 acres in Leesville. And if I have the opportunity, I would purchase land elsewhere for other facets of the business, like storage and processing and testing and stuff like that.
What let's say I got 6 acres,
mm-hmm.
and I'm watching this, and then I follow you. I'm following you for 3-4 months.
Mm-hmm.
How do I get started? Because the reason I say that is I don't know nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm watching this, I'm intrigued because I got the land, and I follow you and watch you for 3-4 months, social media wise. How do I get started?
Yeah, this is a common question. My hesitation is not because I don't have an answer. It's just I don't. It seems so simple. I don't know if y'all gonna believe me, but you could just reach out. And that's what I've done. That's how I found mentors to begin with. I was curious and I saw other people that looked like me. I took a chance and I slid in DMs. And we practiced the principle. For business, we practice the principle of Ujama, which is community and group economics. Reach one, teach one. So we've never hesitated to share information. In fact, we have a couple that is coming to experience part of the process with us as we plant and make sure we have tractors out there and our irrigation system and stuff like that. Reaching out, we're not going to turn anybody away. Depending on the help that you need, because it's a time consuming and labor intensive thing, we can offer guidance. We also offer a program where we consult with you if that's what you need, being hands-on. I can break it down for you, or I can be involved with you. But yes, we are available to you.
Do you need a real farmer? Like I've seen, I've seen like TVs and movies where people went out and found somebody that knows the land itself, because each region is different.
Mm-hmm.
They spent the money on knowing some or on somebody growing because their region or their land is known for this. It's drier than this or wetter than this. Like, have y'all been the same way? Did y'all do the same thing, or did y'all like, we'll do it ourselves?
Oh no, we were our first year we were led by a local farmer.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was saying.
Yeah, you have to have guidance. Last year I was farming at 40. I had no idea. I grew up in Richland County, and this property is in rural Lexington County, Leesville, South Carolina. My family's from there. My mother is from there. My sister was born on that land. I was not as in touch with that land as other family, and that's just the truth of the matter. I've never farmed a day in my life. So we had to reach out to someone to say, hey, this is this is how you go about things. And beyond that, it's common sense. You can find a way to get out there and get your hands dirty and understand the land, but you have to have guidance. If you've never done it before, of course. If you've, grew up with peanuts or tobacco, I'm sure this is nothing, from what I've heard.
I knew you looked familiar. You've been on Live PD, and
I have not. Because when I'm in Columbia, I make sure I stay in between 9 and 12 on Fridays and Saturdays.
Hey, they caught me a food line about a month ago. Man, a cop was walking in, Rich kind of walking in, I'm walking out. You kind of slide through the door. And when I slid through the door, the camera was in my face. And I looked at the cop. I was like, it was a white cop. I said, why you ain't tell about the cameraman? He gonna look at his watch, talk about, you know what day it is. I don't watch Live PD no more.
I promised my mom and daddy that I would stay off of Live PD, and I've done a good job. But we're not gonna jinx that. So yeah.
Yeah, you said Richard County. You was like, that's Richard County. You sound like Live PD.
Oh yeah, I sit home and I recognize the places that they are, but no,
yeah.
no.
That's why I stopped watching, because I'd be like, man, I was on that road the other day.
Right. I was over there at 7:00. Glad I caught it. Yeah. Absolutely.
But no, it's super dope. We had Angela, one of our other guests. She has a more, I guess, traditional old McDonald's type farm where she has livestock.
What up,
she
Crip?
has soybeans. What'd she say? Soybeans, corn, and something else. And she was one of the ones, like the prodigal kid that walked away and came back and, inherited it. And now she understands how important it is. She's trying to get her kids to understand that. Is that kind of like your story too?
Absolutely. It's gotten a lot deeper than I expected it to. I've, never been afraid of work or anything like that. But the more time I spend on the land, the more my appreciation grows for it. And for my family, that with little to no education, found a way to make a lot of things work that I can't even imagine being under those conditions.
Right.
And it's still a challenge, so even though I don't have any children to pass this on to, this is very much a family thing. for me, because I'm trying to, in the midst of this, create jobs, get people involved, or create businesses, or just, make sure that we benefit from this labor and what, our ancestors have left for us to benefit from. So yeah, it's a labor of love.
In terms of ancestors, and I know you said like did you ever hear any more as to how they gained this land? Were they free the whole time? You know what I'm saying? Was it, what indentured servitude was supposed to be? You work for this long and we'll give you this piece. Because 100 acres is a lot. It's a lot now, and it was a lot then.
Real quick, because he asked that, tell people that don't know, how big is an acre?
Oh, well, most homes, it's hard to give a description because I don't know what their generalization is.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
on these new homes, those
but let me tell you, yeah.
Lots.
But if we took the home off that acre, that's the only way you get a realistic view of how big a fucking acre is. When it comes to land and planting things in it, because I underestimated it the first year. My understanding is my great-grandfather was born a free man in Florida. How he came about this land is not something we've had a lot of record to go off of. My father is kind of like our family historian for both sides, my mother and father's side. And there isn't much information there. Beyond this farm that she worked, my great-grandmother was a housekeeper in Lexington County somewhere. So they did work outside this farm to maintain themselves, and we know that sharecropping was a big thing. But is it clear how they came about truly purchasing this or keeping people off of it? We don't know. Since that 100 acres, not all 100 have stayed within the family. Some of it has been sold off.
Right.
I wanted to ask you about your cousins and everybody else so the ones that support it and the ones that don't. Hey, you gonna start laughing?
I don't know if I want to answer this question. Go ahead. What we doing?
Fuck that. You can answer this question. For the family, the aunts, uncles, and cousins that support it, and the ones that don't support it, because there's other people that's gonna go through this. That's why I want to ask that question.
Right. Mm-hmm.
No, you ain't gotta get serious.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. What's the question? The
question is, right? How do you handle the other family members that support it, as far as your cousins, aunts, and uncles, and all that, and then the ones that don't support it?
So I've been in business since I was 8 years old. I was once the candy lady.
Yeah, you in North Main. You were selling candy.
Yeah. You know
the other candy.
No. I stayed off of live PD all my life.
No, what was that movie with the candy? Tell them about the candy. Dave Chappelle.
Oh no, I don't know.
You know the movie.
Put this straight back on the tracks. So I've been in business since 8 years old. I would like to say, and I've seen a lot of things and experienced a lot of things outside of this farm. I have my own business. I have learned that more than likely the support that you need, the push, the blessing is going to come from somebody that is a complete stranger to you, that you never saw coming. So it's best to not worry about who isn't doing what for you.
There you go.
A lot of that time could be redirected on those who do support you.
But that's blood. That's a political answer. I want the real answer.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you see it, you recognize it. But
say F them. Say F them.
Why would you want her to do that? What's wrong with you?
No, we're not gonna worry about that, because at the end, we know that they see what's going on, and that's the delightful part of it all. You know,
I was going to say,
don't need anything, but you can show them some things. Yeah.
Were you surprised at the profitability? A lot of times when you go into the business, you know you're going to spend so much time in the red before you get to the black. So as far as what you guys set out to do based on the basic principle of a plan that you had to the end of your first year, did you break even? Were you profitable? Did it allow you to start, turning your bells as to what to do next?
Oh no, we're not we're not there yet.
Yeah.
We are very much a novice farm. And I believe in most businesses, or I'm not gonna say I'm a bad businesswoman, but it takes time for you to make way and hit that profit mark. I think we're well on our way, but with no experience coming in, I'm very proud of where we are so far. Nobody's homeless. We're all able to do well and continue on and fight this good fight, but we're not millionaires yet. And if we think about it, we don't know any farmers that are millionaires.
Of course.
At least not a farmer. Bill Gates has land, but he's not a farmer. So we don't truly know of any farmers that are millionaires. Not saying they don't exist, but it's a hard trek. But we're in this game, and we know we're going to hit that profit mark very, very soon.
So,
go ahead.
For the sake of the most important byproduct of hemp and hemp farming, the medical benefits, what are the magical things that we just, as ignorant people that think hemp is reefer, what are the basic medical principles and some of the things that hemp is a cure and an assistant to?
I think one of the most amazing things about CBD and hemp that is overlooked is really basic, is that the human body is designed to receive CBD. The brain has something called CBD receptors. Amazing. It doesn't have heroin receptors, no cocaine receptors, no alcohol receptors, but the brain has CBD receptors. Just magical, right? So when you consume it in any form, your body, your brain is ready for CBD.
Right.
It has we can't say magical, because CBD, the disclaimer is it doesn't cure or prevent any disease, but the word disease is saying that your body is not at ease, dis-ease. So CBD receptors, when they receive CBD, your body is now at ease. So it cuts into inflammation, which causes pain. Something like arthritis, or your knee hurts, or you scraped your elbow earlier, pain and inflammation. It helps you reduce stress and anxiety because your brain is now at ease. It's not running 1,000 miles per hour because it received CBD. It's able to help you with sleep because if you relax enough, your body will fall into a state of wanting to be asleep. So it has many different benefits besides being used, for food and clothing and oil, to run things. It's truly designed for the body to be in a better, more relaxed and healthy state.
When does let me ask you this, is hemp your pleasure?
Is hemp my pleasure?
Yeah.
THC is my pleasure.
Yeah. Okay.
CBD is my companion.
Okay. When did your companion become your business, and when will your business turn off and you be like, I don't want to do this no more?
My companion became my business when I saw my father in pain after a back surgery.
Okay.
As a massage therapist, there's only so much you can do for your family and friends. And then the massage world was being introduced to CBD oil. We were probably one of the first industries to use it on the job. And it opened up discussions about business because we saw how it worked in our personal lives. When will I give it up?
It just I'm sorry. I mean, because when I say give up, when you be like, it's taken away from my companion. when your companion becomes too much?
So not giving up my pleasure, giving up my companion, my business.
Yeah, like when that starts when it starts crossing each other, where you're just like,
I don't know. I think with my companion with CBD, I'm more concerned about how close it can get me or how it can help me achieve some goals, like making sure people are comfortable. After mom, dad, sister, and nephew are comfortable, then I would be like, I can move on to something else, or I can let somebody else handle this for me. Otherwise, as a woman, I've seen so many benefits with CBD that I think it's a lifelong companion for me,
That's
on the
dope.
personal side.
What are you doing with CBD that is like not the norm? Like, have you completely ingratiated yourself into it? Like your teas, your food, what are your practical routines that you use him for?
Well, personally, I have shit to do during the day, so I try not to consume too much. You
Of
have to
course.
you have to regulate what's going on. I try to be as active as possible, so my dosing is usually for relaxation. Because my CBD company offers so many things, gummies, teas, soaps, seasonings, whether at the end of the day or, as I'm wrapping up, I decide to cook with it, take a shower with the soap or bath with the soap, have a cup of tea or just pop some gummies. I have those options, but that's usually on my wind down. Um, Other than that, I maybe like a salve or a lotion is definitely used on a daily basis.
I got a
And
gangster idea. I got a
then,
gangster idea.
Uh-oh.
I got a gangster idea. Here first,
Okay.
you should make hemp toilet tissue
mm,
because I ain't gonna say it online. There's a reason why, but you should make hemp toilet tissue.
for
But
hemorrhoids, for booty
hemorrhoid
abrasion, for sensitive arseholes.
assholes, and for the
There is a
assholes
brand.
you
There,
see in the street, throw it in their face. But for
there
the other
is a
ass,
brand of hemp toilet paper out there. Yes, sir.
is
I'm gonna
yours,
make sure. No, it's not mine. I'm
but
gonna
you
make
gonna make
sure.
some.
No, well, that's made from a different. That's made from the male hemp plant, and I only work with the female hemp plant at this
Well,
time.
put it in the females. You need to make some toilet tissue that's hemp.
She said if she got somebody on there, she gonna share the wealth. She in her
Yeah,
lane.
I'm waiting for that person with 6 acres that rhetorically mentioned earlier. We're gonna make that happen just for you,
Or what about
just for you.
napkins? Hemp napkins. How about that?
Hemp napkins. Okay,
Same thing. It's paper.
It is.
it's
That's why
gonna
you
be used the
transition to
same
toilet
way.
tissue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's easier to transition to toilet tissue if you
So
make napkins.
let's,
Hey, hold
let's
up. Hey, check out Together We Break Chains.
so you hide through your butt. See, this is why people don't have conversations with you people out here in internet land. I swear to God, cuz we was doing well. They're having an adult conversation.
Dope, real dope,
So you
real
just
dope.
get high through your butt? No, man. And you wiping your ass anyway. That's the least you can do is get high through your butt.
Bruh,
Be
think
in
about
there.
it, bruh. When you eat hot food, think about it now. When you eat hot food, that shit come out fire, right?
No, I agree that is a practical
I'm just saying.
method.
For
No,
pain relief
I
and
agree that
inflammation. You're right.
There
You're
you
right.
there
go.
you go.
You're
There
right.
you go. So specifically with your company, I'm gonna give you your spotlight. Let's talk about whatever you want to talk about, but products, contact. Where can people find you at?
Well, first I want to thank you all for giving me a moment of your time. Litt Lizzy Farms, LittLizzy farms.com. Everything you need is right there. You click on all those links. visit our marketplace. We have soaps, teas, gummies, CBD seasoning. We even sell some accessories for you, and you can also get yourself a great sweatshirt, t-shirt, whatever it is that you're in need of. We are a boutique hemp farm. That means we're small, run by a family, owned by a family. Black owned, woman owned, veteran owned in Leesville, South Carolina. We appreciate your support. Any shape, form, or fashion that you give us. Ever have any questions about the cannabis industry, getting in, fitting in, please reach out to us. We appreciate you all.
That is super dope. That is super dope. I mean, again, it's so significant for a black family in the 1800s in South Carolina to be on some boss shit so far ahead of the time, so far
Right.
in a time where we all argue about reparations. We know why we don't get reparations, because they know that we will turn the fucking profit. You know what I'm saying? There's no way that we would not take it. Of course, you got fools in every demographic, but there's no way that we would not do what we need to do as a people for the people. The fact
Right.
that you have a product that is helpful to the environment, helpful to humanity in so many different ways. Even somebody we were together, we break chain said it's foolish, but I've heard of these type of products. Whoopi Goldberg.
Mhm.
Whoopi Goldberg was in the cannabis industry for a while, but not to get high. Hers was designed specifically for women with menstrual cramps. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like,
We have a strain that that's one of the main traits of that strain. We actually picked it because it reminded us of one of our great aunts, but the qualities of that strain actually help with female reproductive issues. What a lot
mm,
of us don't recognize is I've learned through research that Africans were the first to burn cannabis and learn of its benefits by smoking. Because so to your point, we are always and forever will be a genius people. We know what we're doing. And like Whoopi Goldberg has discovered, yes, CBD, hemp, cannabis, THC, whatever form does benefit the yoni in so many ways. In fact, for years in Asia and Africa, during childbirth or anytime during pregnancy, cannabis has been used to help women.
I was
So
about to ask
yeah,
you that. I was just about to
it's
say I got a gangster idea.
and it's
Pregnancy with
always
hemp.
about the female plant too. So that's where you get everything from.
I was about to say, so females don't have to take the epidural because a lot of females now this day is the whole I want to have it natural until they have it natural. Then someone be like, oh shit, I fucked up, but it's too late because the baby coming out. But
Right.
I think you should do one for the natural childbirth.
Well, the thing is, we live in an America that they test women in hospitals after labor to see if there's any kind of trace of cannabis. Doesn't matter if it's CBD or THC, and unfortunately, that leads to families being broken up. I feel unjustly, but they say to protect children. More research has to be done on our government's part when it comes to these hospitals and how women are treated. Period.
mm.
And then when we talk about labor and delivery and cannabis, that's a touchy subject too. So yes, it's very complex, but a majority of that is ignorance, and some of that willful. So yeah.
I did want to ask you, and I know we about to close this out, but
Hmm.
kids and that when it relates to kids, because
Hmm.
for a while everybody, all the kids need Ritalin, all the kids need this, all the kids need that.
Right.
What? How do you feel about the age in hemp or the age in cannabis?
I see we're running out of time. I'll make it quick. I see across the nation we have gone from using the term recreational use, which encourages children, to adult use, and I think that's very responsible. Adults should be consuming cannabis, but I do understand that there are benefits to children over the age of 2 for
Okay,
cannabis.
damn,
That's all I can say. Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, I mean, from what is it? There's a wealth of different medical benefits, like she's saying. Seizures,
Mhm.
like they have a
Epilepsy and
mystic spray,
everything. Hmm.
and the video is wild for these to see these kids go through a violent seizure, and then one spray hits the back of their throat, and everything settles in their body. Man, it's so weird to be from this place and to be half. You don't even have to be smart to know that people are dirtying up the fucking water, cuz like they just we could live a much simpler way, a much happier way, but there's a group of people that are here to take us off that path.
We
I
know
appreciate
the
what you're
more you
doing.
know, the more you grow.
There you go. I appreciate everything about Litt Lizzy. This will not be the last time that we congregate, and I would love nothing more than to spread the word of what you're doing and how you're doing it, and enjoy some of your products. So we thank you for that. I'm gonna let you go ahead and go out, Carolina. Tell the people what you want to tell the people.
I appreciate her coming on. We scheduled this almost about a month ago. Thanks to DJ Kryptonite for networking and connecting us together. We definitely want to have her. She real laid back, man.
For sure.
Real educational. Our homeboy HD Visual, aka Woodworks by Joffrey said, or Woodworks by Joseph said, she articulates very well.
What's
So,
wrong? Your mustache too big?
damn, man, y'all be blessed, man. My shit old.
This is the Bottom of the Bottle Show. I'm Jay Walker the third. That's my brother Carolina Dirt 803. This is the Bottom of the Bottle Show, man, where you might laugh or you might cry or you might fucking learn something, man. That's what we're here for. We're here for community. We're here to share the wealth of knowledge that we have amongst each other. And we're here to treat people like people. Until the next time, this is that show. Y'all like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. And until then, man, until the next time, we out. Y'all be
Lizzie,
easy.
stay on for a second.